Hey there, football fans, buckle up, because we've got some NFL drama to talk about that had us all on the edge of our seats this weekend. From illegal hits to heated confrontations, Week 13 brought us the kind of action that only the NFL can deliver. So, let's dive into the jaw-dropping moment that left everyone talking, and trust us, it wasn't just about the game. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share the video with your friends because, oh boy, we've got some juicy stuff to unpack today. The hit heard round the league, Azeez Al-Shaair versus Trevor Lawrence. Alright, folks, here's where the story gets spicy. Sunday's game between the Jacksonville Jaguars and Houston Texans took a serious turn when Azeez Al-Shaair, linebacker for the Texans, decided that Trevor Lawrence wasn't just a quarterback, he was a human piñata. And unfortunately for Lawrence, Al-Shaair took a very wrong approach to tackling. It all went down with just a few minutes left before halftime. Lawrence had just run for a first down and, like any good quarterback trying to save his legs, was about to slide to the ground. Now, in case you didn't know, the NFL has this little rule, a rule that's been around longer than you can remember, that you don't hit a quarterback who's in the process of sliding. Why? Well, it's for their safety, of course. We all know Trevor Lawrence is a little too valuable for that. But guess who didn't get the memo? Yep, you guessed it, Azeez Al-Shaair. As Lawrence was sliding to end the play, Al-Shaair came in full speed ahead, forearm outstretched like a linebacker who's never heard of a pull-up. The impact was brutal. Lawrence's head snapped back, bouncing off the turf like a ping-pong ball on a bad bounce. Ouch. As you can imagine, this wasn't just a play that had Jacksonville fans fuming, it was a full-blown situation. The hit took place right in front of the Jaguars sideline, and as soon as Lawrence hit the ground, teammates flooded the field faster than you can say, flag on the play. Jaguars players swarmed Al-Shaair, furious that their quarterback was taken out of the game with what looked like a nasty head injury. But hold on, it didn't end there. Texans players rushed in, trying to defend their teammate. And suddenly, we had ourselves a full-on skirmish. Players were throwing hands, coaches were shouting, and fans were probably wondering if the NFL had accidentally swapped football for wrestling. It was chaos. Meanwhile, Lawrence was still down on the field, and medical staff were attending to him. Eventually, the Jaguars QB got to his feet, but not before getting carted off the field. Yep, you read that right, carted off. As Lawrence was wheeled away, the crowd erupted with boos. Not at the injury, but at the unsportsmanlike conduct. And to make matters worse, Al-Shaair was ejected from the game for his role in the hit. It's safe to say he wasn't getting a standing ovation as he walked off the field either. What's next for Al-Shaair? So, here's the million-dollar question. What happens next for Azeez Al-Shaair? If you're wondering whether this hit might lead to more than just an ejection, you're not alone. With the NFL being all about player safety, this could turn into a major suspension. We're talking about a hit to the head that left Trevor Lawrence on the sideline for the rest of the game with a head injury. The league can't afford to let stuff like this slide, literally. The fact that Al-Shaair was ejected suggests the NFL is taking this seriously. But is a one-game ban enough? Or should the league consider a longer suspension to send a message? We'll just have to wait and see if they throw the book at him or give him a light slap on the wrist. Either way, don't expect this incident to be swept under the rug anytime soon. The fallout: Jaguars' loss and Lawrence's injury. After the dust settled, the game continued, but let's just say the Jaguars weren't exactly playing with the same intensity. Trevor Lawrence had been knocked out for the rest of the game, and backup quarterbacks weren't exactly lighting up the scoreboard. Jacksonville struggled to regain their momentum after the emotional toll of the hit. And the game ended in a loss that will probably sting for a while. It wasn't just the injury to Lawrence that shook things up, it was the fact that it was completely avoidable. NFL players, especially quarterbacks, are incredibly vulnerable when they're in the act of sliding. It's a rule that's there for a reason: safety. And yet, Al-Shaair's decision to charge at Lawrence instead of pulling up could have serious consequences for both teams. The Texans will likely be left facing some serious fallout from this incident. 2. Closing. Well, folks, there you have it. A controversial hit, an ejection, and a whole lot of drama. Will Azeez Al-Shaair face a suspension for his actions? Will Trevor Lawrence be able to recover in time for the Jaguars' next game? Only time will tell. But one thing's for sure, this week's game was anything but boring. As always, thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this video with your friends to keep the conversation going. We'll be back soon with more NFL action, so stay tuned. What's up, football fans? American football, welcome back to the channel. If you haven't already, smash that subscribe button, hit the like if you're a fan of jaw-dropping hits, and make sure to share this video because trust me, you're going to want to hear about this insane moment. From a brutal hit on Trevor Lawrence to a full-on brawl between the Jaguars and Texans. This game had everything, so sit tight, grab your snacks, and let's dive right into the madness. Trevor Lawrence carted off after dirty hit. Brawl erupts between Jaguars and Texans. Alright, buckle up because we've got a game full of chaos to talk about. The Jacksonville Jaguars were facing the Houston Texans this past Sunday, but things quickly took a turn for the ugly after a nasty hit on Jaguars quarterback Trevor Lawrence. This wasn't just any hit, it sparked a full-blown brawl that had fans buzzing and left some serious bruises, on and off the field. Let's break it down. The hit took place in the second quarter with the Texans up 6-0. Trevor Lawrence, trying to make a play, scrambled on 2nd and 7 near midfield. He slides in a bit short of the first down marker, trying to protect himself, but that's when Azeez Al-Shaair came flying in, headfirst, and made direct contact with Lawrence's upper body. No hesitation, just a straight-up dirty shot. Now, of course, the refs didn't miss this one, and a flag was immediately thrown. But here's the twist, instead of taking responsibility, Al-Shaair was seen protesting the penalty, like really? Dude, seriously? But before things could escalate any further, Evan Engram, the Jaguars' tight end, came in like a bat out of hell and took matters into his own hands. That's when the whole thing blew up into a brawl. Players from both teams were throwing punches, shoving each other, and basically forgetting they were supposed to be playing football and not MMA. Al-Shaair found himself surrounded by a swarm of Jaguars players. And after the fight spilled over onto the Jaguars sideline, officials finally had to step in and break things up. And get this, Lawrence was still lying on the field as the fight raged on. But eventually, he stood up, thankfully, and was carted off the field. He was quickly ruled out of the game due to a head injury. And Mac Jones, not the New England Patriots QB, we're talking about the backup for Jacksonville, had to take over. The aftermath, ejections, scuffles, and Al-Shaair's exit. But don't think for a second the chaos ended there. Oh no, as if things weren't already wild enough. Al-Shaair and Jarrian Jones, the Jaguars' cornerback, were both ejected from the game for their roles in the melee. Then, Evan Engram, the guy who threw the initial punch, got flagged for unnecessary roughness, because apparently, standing up for your quarterback is a penalty now? But the drama didn't stop with the ejections. After things calmed down, Brandon Scherff, the Jaguars' guard, decided to confront Al-Shaair for the hit. This led to another scuffle, another fight. By this point, officials, coaches, and even police officers were involved in trying to separate everyone. And as if this wasn't enough, fans started throwing objects at Al-Shaair as he was escorted off the field. Talk about getting a taste of your own medicine, right? Mac Jones tries to lead the comeback. But it's too late. After all the mayhem, the game resumed with Mac Jones under center for Jacksonville. Unfortunately, the Jaguars found themselves in a 23-6 hole heading into the final quarter. But hold up, Mac wasn't going down without a fight. He threw 2 touchdown passes in the fourth quarter, one to Parker Washington and another to Brian Thomas Jr., making it a one-score game at 23-20. Unfortunately, it wasn't enough. Joe Mixon, the Texans' running back, put the final nail in the coffin with a crucial third-down conversion that ate up the clock, securing the victory for Houston. The Jaguars' late rally wasn't enough to overcome the earlier mistakes and missed opportunities. Post-game reactions. Dirty hit or just football? Now, let's talk about the aftermath. After the game, Jaguars safety Andrew Wingard made it clear how much the team has Lawrence's back. He praised Jarrian Jones for coming to Trevor's defense, saying, "That's our brother. We ride out for each other." Wingard continued, "You love to see that. Honestly, you hate it for his wallet. But that's the type of team we've got. Evan Engram, the man who threw the punch that started it all, didn't mince words either. He called the hit on Lawrence a dirty play. Engram said, "Trevor was going down. I just knew it was wrong. Because it's a dirty play. You stick up for your guys." Meanwhile, over in the Texans locker room, quarterback C.J. Stroud had a slightly different perspective. He expressed well wishes for Lawrence's recovery, saying, "I really hope and pray he's okay." Still rocking with Azeez, "I don't think that was his intent." Stroud was doing his best to keep the peace while also defending his teammate. But no one could deny that Lawrence's injury really changed the momentum of the game. And in case you missed it, Jaguars head coach Doug Peterson didn't hold back either. He called the hit, quite bluntly, a play that has no business in our league. "Yeah, Doug, we're with you on that one. What's next for Trevor Lawrence and the Jaguars?" So what does this mean for Trevor Lawrence and the Jaguars moving forward? Well, first off, let's all hope Trevor makes a speedy recovery. With the playoff race heating up, Jacksonville is going to need their star QB back in action if they're going to stay in the hunt. But for now, the team's focus is on rallying behind their backup and ensuring Lawrence's health is their top priority. As for Azeez Al-Shaair, well, he might want to keep his head down for a while. Between the fans throwing stuff at him and the league likely reviewing the hit, things are about to get pretty interesting for him. Closing thoughts and call to action. Alright, football fans, what do you think about this insane game? Was that hit on Trevor Lawrence dirty? Or just a part of the game? And what's next for the Jaguars now that their QB is out? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If you loved the drama and want more breakdowns of wild games like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with your friends who need to catch up on all the NFL action. Trust me, you don't want to miss out on the next crazy game. Catch you next time. And remember, football's not just a game. It's a battle.